Hold on. Let me get my ears on. Got to get my gears on. Yeah, that was a little rhyme for you. Hello, everybody. This is Marcus, aka Tenzin, aka MKB, whatever you want to call me, as long as it's one of those three. Tonight, we will be talking with SSJ Blackarat. Yes, sir. Yes. Actually, on time. Holy hell. Like, hello.
Yo, what's good?
Yeah, you can definitely hear me. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, man, it's been too long, Chris.
Yo, man.
I still remember meeting you like at Valdosta, and I remember you was talking about Monday's Mill, and we somehow came across the name Richard Broadus, and then it was like, oh shit, you know Richard Broadus? Yeah, I know Richard Broadus.
Hmm.
Yo, that's crazy. And and I just want to say, I hate to start off heavy, but it comes with a heavy heart that I got to give my condolences to you. I mean, I know you're not a Haitian citizen, but you're definitely from there. And I just heard recently that unfortunately the Haitian president was assassinated, and his wife is in critical condition. So my condolences on that.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Like, the us Haitian people, I mean, we're strong, resilient people. That
I
country
mean,
has gone
history
through
proved that.
yeah, like it's we've gone through so much. And my I'm actually first generation. So my mother and father, they're both Haitian. They were both born there. I was born in America, but still all about the culture, all about our people. And it's tough to see. And it's weird because I've been getting messages and talking to people all day about it and stuff like this. It's sort of like I'm like I can only speak for me, but like I'm sort of numb to it because we've always there's always something going on over there. So for something like this to happen, like there's been like the government has been corrupt for so long. People have been saying like wild stuff about this president. So yeah, like this is something that it sucks to see. My heart, my prayers, good vibes, all whatever you believe in, all that goes out to their family, and just like the country itself. You would hope that we have a lot of Haitian creators out there, Haitian entrepreneurs, Haitian just like I mean, just you would think that with all of this power that we have now and just the regular American culture, that we would start seeing more change. We would start seeing something over there. So I was actually talking to my co-host from Should I Play That, and I was like, hey, listen, like all I could do is sort of use what happened today to sort of fuel my fuel my power to become great and use that influence to help the country out because that's all we can do. We can pray and help where we can. So same here. It was a tough day.
Right. I mean, and look, not to sound fucked up, but I remember I had to wait, like, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I was like, damn, I want to shout RIP, but I don't know what type of leader he was. But once I saw you say the RIPs, I was like, all right, he was a good person, bet. So but no, man, it's definitely, I know that nation is shook up,
Hmm.
and luckily they got you to represent in them
Yeah.
streams.
Hey, listen, once things start running and like I'm able to, pump more resources into that country, like it's gonna happen.
And
So
but the cool thing about Haiti, like when I first got into hip hop, like actually appreciating the lyrics, it was actually Wyclef that helped me. You know what I'm
ooh,
saying?
yes.
Like my mom had this Wyclef CD. It was what was the single on it? It was that joint he did with Mary J.
Hmm.
But I remember like I was just listening to it, like just okay, like yeah, like that was like the first time I listened to hip hop and actually like kind of like, of course I ain't necessarily understood everything just because I was like 8 years old, but still I was like listening to it. I was like, okay, I know what he's saying, and I kind of fuck with it. So shout out to Haiti for that. Like,
For sure.
y'all had your hands in making me a hip hop head. So
But yeah, man, I'm excited to be on. I've been watching on and off with your
Oh,
podcast. Like you've been doing the thing on Instagram, man. Like I love to see it. Love to see you, putting people on, putting and like I've followed a bunch of people that have been on your show. So
I mean,
shout out to you. Thank you for having me on.
oh yeah, no problem, man. I mean, thank you for coming. But yeah, I mean, that's what this podcast is all about. Like my brother, he'd say ad nauseum. You know what I'm saying? It was like to build a relationship between us three brothers, but also it's definitely about sharing people. Letting other people know that hey, look, hey, I know this black streamer who plays games and he reviews video games and he also talks about shit that no regular guy would talk about. I mean, you talk about mental health and stuff. So,
Yeah, mental health. We talk about politics. We talk about just gender inequality. We talk about just whatever needs to be talked about. That's what we'll take the time to talk about it on the show,
so
if
what,
that's
what?
fine. So go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna ask you like because I know you've been podcasting for like a while. Like for fans of Mr. Reincher, is that how you say it?
Reincher, yeah, Reincher.
Reincher, Like a rich Reincher. Okay, I'm a Reincher, boys. Nah, I said I had to see. I had to. But nah. Like for those who are fans of Mr. Reincher here, he actually been doing this podcast for a lot longer than like should I play that? Because I remember like what was it like Media Beast or something like that. It was like you
Yeah,
and Escalade, aka James Green. I used
yeah.
to
Shout
call
out
him
to
Kitty,
James.
but but yeah, man, I remember listening to some of those podcasts, and I was like, damn, this nigga knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, and it's crazy because back then, and this was like 20 well I technically started 2011, and that was just something where we're just doing for fun. We're talking about video games, talking about technology. Then it's sort of like I'm always evolving, so it evolved into doing other shows. So we did a show called Should I Watch That?
Hmm.
That was about movies, television, anime. We had another show called The Reactor, which was sort of like our all in one show where we could talk about everything, whatever, was happening that week. That was a show for it. And, it's something that turned into like a passion that then sort of died down because, life happens. You have to,
Hmm.
go to work, you have to make money, you have to, do
Right.
what you can. So stop for a
Gosh
good
darn
minute.
capitalism.
Capitalism, man, like it's wild. And I chilled it, off of it for a little bit and then hopped back on um 20 I was looking at this earlier, 2018. 2018 is when me and my co-host Rod, I was like, it's weird and it's funny. A lot of creators sort of go through this where you can create like so much, but then not release it, not
Mm.
put the work
Oh
out.
yeah, for sure.
So I'm pretty sure I have the hard drive somewhere, but I have like a good like 6 months to a year's worth of content that just we would
Okay.
record, and it was some sort of mental block where I just couldn't, get myself to release it. I feel like everything had to be perfect.
Mm.
Back then we were really news oriented, so like if it took me too long to release an episode and people were already done
Mm.
talking about what it was. I was like, well, I missed the mark on that one. So,
Darn.
uh, you know, for anyone that's listening out there that it like they're going through that, just release it. Just put out your work, put out what you got, and you can only get better uh just by repetition, by people say, oh, do the reps. Like it's true in everything. It's true in content creation. You just have to you also put yourself out there. It honestly takes, one good thing to go viral for people to hop on, for people to really like understand your message, to really, get behind what you're doing. And that's something I had to tell myself. I had to tell myself, hey, look, I've done this for so many years. I don't know why I'm like I'm acting shy now. Let me just go ahead and do it. And here I am now. A couple years later, we're on break right now because I have some things cooking in the kitchen.
Okay.
But we just celebrated our 100th episode
Hey,
a couple
shout
months
out to the
ago.
100th
100th
episode.
episode. And it's it's also like me also looking back saying, this industry is like viable now. Before it was always something where I was like, I could just do this on the side. I can
Right.
always, this is just for fun. But why can't I make money too? Why can't this be something that
Yeah.
like I
You
could
know,
pull
like why
in and
not?
exactly, and I love doing it so much. I could if I and that's the goal, that's the plan. People that have like really followed me, they know that I started an LLC during the pandemic where
Okay.
I want to produce. I want to produce not only for the stuff I'm doing but for other creators as well who need the jump start, who need guidance. And Muck Luck Productions, that's something that
What's it called?
it's called Muck Luck Productions.
Muck
And
luck.
yeah, Muck Luck Productions. It's Muck Luck is a term that me and my cousin growing up sort of coined. That it's the type of luck that I have, and it's a type of luck that may seem bad or just out of place, but there's always like a silver lining. There's always like something good that you can get out of it. So with Muck Luck, I tell people that luck is something that you create. Stop waiting for it, just create it.
Hmm. Is it
So
spelled MUCK luck? Like,
yep, Muck Luck Productions. So
is it one
it's
word?
two words.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Productions.
so it's something that is I'm about to launch
I'm gonna
with
look so
a
stupid.
it's a show that it's sort of like that concept of helping creators. Um, and I have a local artist named uh, Briss Loco,
Briss
and
Loco.
he's a local rapper from Griffin, Georgia,
Hey,
and
shout out to Griffin, Georgia.
shout out to Griffin. There's a lot of when I say there's a lot of talent in Griffin, Georgia. There are a lot of producers, artists, people like photographers, videographers, and you see it. You see young people, you see older people doing it. So this first episode is an interview with Loco and just talking about like his beginnings, and that's gonna drop later this month. I'm gonna drop that. Also working with two other artists and well, I guess a group. As a group that I'm working with, and just things in the kitchen cooking up, and I'm just excited.
All right, man. Pretty much Reincher just saying, yeah, yo, wait on it. All right. Just fucking wait on it. You're gonna see.
You're gonna see it.
Hey yo, Reincher. So I want to know, like, what? So I guess, like, what finally got you to just be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm all in now. What made you say, what made you finally just say, fuck this? Like you said, you've been doing it so long. Why not release it?
It sort of falls down to why not create your own table? Like people love so much to be part of the table, part of the conversation. Why not create your own table? Why not create your own table and invite others to eat with you?
Yeah,
So
the calf is big enough.
exactly. So it's something that like especially during the pandemic, that gave me a lot of time to sort of reflect on everything, reflect on my skills, reflect on my passions. Just like I, there was so much that I was doing that I feel like I was being complacent, and I knew I could do better. So literally during that time, read up on a bunch of stuff, studied everything that I do. It's literally how do I like I want to create an animated background. Go to YouTube, go to Skillshare,
Mm.
learn how to do it.
You're just
And
cutting out that middleman.
true, I mean, these are all skills that people can learn how to do. So if it's something that you feel like you want to do, you we people joke around about this, but time's a construct. Time is literally something that we sort of like. It's something that we give ourselves to limit how we do things. Just if you want to learn how to do something, like you have the time to do it. Like you have
Right.
the time to learn what you want to learn and do what you want to do. So the pandemic sort of gave me that free time because I at the time I was and currently back at it working like two jobs.
Oof.
Um, I mean, it's crazy, but like it's something that I gotta you gotta do what you gotta do. But
What's this?
I I felt like I could become a better version of myself. So after learning how to do everything that I wanted to do, I just hit the ground running. Hit the
Mm.
ground running, and I think the thing that I was missing out on all these years was networking,
Mm.
reaching out to people. I would go on people's shows here and there. So, like for example, Henny Haters Club. Shout out to them, my boy Fred.
Yeah, yeah. I seen
Uh,
you post them a lot.
yeah, another great black owned podcast where they also talk about everything that's happening in the world. So I've been on their show a couple times. I've been on like other people's shows here and there, but it was also like it all. I also ran into the fact that people were sort of like me, where they would hit a roadblock and not release the content. So
Mm.
um, I feel like since I have like a knack for the production stuff, for getting things together, and that's sort of how like that's unfortunate. Another podcast that I was working on last year. That was some like the people that I work with that's unfortunate. We literally met at a Black Lives Matter protest.
Oh, well, look at you putting boots on the ground in the
Yeah,
protest.
met at a protest, and we sort of wanted to like just do more, do something, and then that ended up turning into a podcast where we once again just had the tough conversations that people seem to like. They say that they want to talk about after doing this show, it turns out that people really don't know how to have these conversations. It
Hmm.
always
So like
ends
what?
up
So like,
yeah, go
so like,
ahead.
was that like a call-in show or just like y'all just talking among yourselves?
So it was originally just like a traditional podcast where we would take in like messages and stuff like that, but then that soon evolved into a live show, which I feel like I just have a talent for doing live shows, because it's tough. It's tough sort of like running a show and then doing everything all together, but like for some reason I just had the ability to do it, so it then turned into a live show where people can call in, people could voice their opinions,
Oh
and
man, did you ever get like that stereotypical like redneck call? You know?
it so we actually surprisingly that was more or less on the Facebook comments.
Oh,
Facebook
okay.
Facebook is an angry place.
Oh, most
I don't
deaf, bro. Like
there is something
if you're
about
too
Facebook.
left leaning on Facebook, them boomers will just sniff you out. And then
Yeah,
they'll sit through your content and then they'll comment on it. I'm like, bruh, like you knew you was gonna hate it. Like
yeah, but
see, it's
hey,
people like you that's ruining this country. You know, Trump really won.
yeah. So I mean, it wasn't that bad. And then of course
Okay.
with like I know how to uh like sort of shift through people that are calling in, so you can sort of tell when some people are out there
Right.
to be
Just
reckless.
start something.
Yeah. So you know, have being able to moderate that stuff at the same time. Like I was able to do that, so I was
What about
definitely
like
able to.
what about your live chats though? Like did they ever kind of get out of hand? Like
So I on like once again on Facebook sometimes would get sort of crazy, but at the same time we're all there to have a good time, to sort of just talk about it.
right.
Um, but it was Twitch was actually sometimes like I actually had to get a moderator for should I play that, because the
Oh
Twitch
word.
chat, yeah, because the Twitch chat started, not only was there spam but just people, Twitch is toxic sometimes, so I had
Oh,
to have
I
yeah,
watch a lot of debates on there, so I get it.
yeah, but it's all about surrounding yourself with the right people. As much as I say that I do a lot, and I'm learning this now, like I have to, surround myself with people that have the same vision, that work just as hard, and also believe in what I believe in. So, shout out to my mod Subject T on Should I Play That? She's always there to, kick out the bozos in the chat, and it makes it easy. It makes it so I can focus on the show and not
I
worry
mean,
about kicking people out.
but like, will I have special privileges to come in the chat and drop a couple of F slurs and bounce, or like,
So should I play that? We try to keep it. I'm not gonna
come
say
on,
clean,
it's
but
gaming,
non
you know what I mean?
non
Like,
toxic.
Nah,
we're trying to
what? Come
spread
on,
the.
dog. You can't have gaming without the toxicity, bro. Like, nah, bro. Like you gotta call somebody an F slur, man. You gotta talk about how you fuck somebody's mama. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm just
I,
kidding.
I, I was gonna say I thought about that. I should do like a homage to Xbox Live.
I
So
know, right?
Xbox Live was
360.
really 360 was hella toxic. So I don't know. That could be a segment. That could be a skit or something.
But you know what's funny though? Like niggas thought that like Call of Duty and Halo people were toxic, man. Fighting game niggas. Oh my gosh. Some of those
That's
messages,
that's the
you'll be
worst.
like, shit. Like, you know, cause but I understand because, you know, in fighting games it's mano y mano, so you're gonna
Oh,
take that
it's
loss
personal.
personal.
Yeah, like one
But
on one. It's a personal thing. People definitely talking about your mama. People are
I was
no
all
holds
types
barred.
of niggers and like F slurs. I was like, well, damn. I mean, I only beat you once in a 4 match set. What the fuck? Like, you wanted to 5-0 me that bad? Like,
I see me. I've never been that toxic. I think the most toxic that I wouldn't even say it's toxic, but I have a story about that. I had a friend. Me and him were playing Mortal Kombat 10,
oh,
and I've played Mortal Kombat for a minute, so I knew my combos already. I sort of knew how to play, and he was sort of just jumping in. And of course, you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna trash him. I'm gonna destroy him. I'm like, hey, yo, go back to training. Go practice. When I say this man came back like out of the hyperbolic time chamber, Super Saiyan 2, and I couldn't get one win off of him,
oh
and
man.
it ended with him getting a brutality off of me.
Oh no.
That was the one and only time I rage quit. I backed out of the game
Who?
and deleted the game. I have yet to play Mortal Kombat 10 since then.
Damn. Like, he whooped your ass that bad. Like, you
Yep,
didn't even want to play it no more.
still deleted.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Okay, so I never got that butthurt to like actually delete a game, but I remember back in 2011 when Third Strike got released online, like in the 360 days,
Hmm.
bro, like it was crazy. Like my friends would be worried. Like that game would piss me off so much because I gotta tell you, like, because I guess it's like one of the hardest Street Fighters you can get into,
Hmm.
but dude, like I had to train so much just to be okay at the game.
Yeah.
But man, but I would still play. That's the thing. Like I'll be pissed off, but I'm still playing. I'm still hitting next match, like just like mad as fuck. Just God damn it. Like this. Like is there any game that you had like that in your day? Just like it just make you unhealthily mad, but like you would just still play it just because you loved it so much.
Oh,
Or, like,
to this day, I have a love-hate relationship with a game called Destiny.
Destiny. I never got
Yes.
into that, but I'm not really big on shooters. But tell me about Destiny. What is it that just irks you?
So so Destiny is your first-person shooter that's also a loot shooter. It's also a live service game, so it's continuously evolving. The story's always going, and there's always like a constant grind. There's always doing a raid, doing strikes, doing missions to get better gear. And once again, your boy has Muck Luck, and I would never get the gear that I want, but I'd always end up getting like gear that other people wanted. So it it's the whole like aspect of spending at least 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours doing like a dungeon or doing a raid to get the same helmet that you got last week and the
Oh
week
no.
before that and the week before that, and all you need is just a chess piece. That's all.
Right.
That's all you need. And like I think the chess piece was like one of like it wasn't even a rare item. It was like a common item, and I would never get it.
That's crazy. But like but you said you would get an item that like other players coveted. So like
Hmm.
does that mean like other players will try to like kill you for it or try to trade? Like do you ever try to find somebody who
and
had
and
that particular chess
and
piece?
Destiny you can't trade. So you get
Oh.
something. Once you get something, you got it. That's it. So I'd be that person, and then you would like if you get like an exotic item, you would see on the feed, you would see such and such got a Galahorn, or so on, such and such got like this exotic sniper,
Hmm.
and I would be the person out. You would see that you see Black Hulk. has the Gallowhorn, and then right under it, Black Hulk has exotic shards because he just dismantled the Gallowhorn.
I know people are like, "What is he doing?"
Yep.
Well, damn, that's you would think they would let you trade. I mean, like, is it supposed to be an MMO? I guess.
When the game started, they were like really heavy on saying that it's not an MMO, but over time they've come to accept that they are an MMO. So like they're slowly but surely adding features that most MMOs have, but they still don't have trading. That's still not a thing.
Yeah, they need to hop on that.
Yeah,
So,
I
like,
honestly haven't played the game in like a good year.
oh, okay, you just been taking a break or just been playing other things?
A little bit of both. Like games like that take up so much time, and with with the podcast and with all the other things that I'm doing, I don't have the time to sit there and do a raid or to like do the same content every night or every week. So it's more or less just like I just don't have time for it anymore. I don't have the patience. So
Mm.
now it's more or less just playing what's coming out. People keeping people informed, reviewing it on the show. And indie games. Just quick shout out for indie games. A lot of people don't. A lot of people overlook indie games. Yet they're the same people to say that, oh, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, all these like AAA games are the same thing every year. Yes, it's the same thing every year
Hmm.
because you guys go out and buy it every year.
Right.
Uh, Change it up. Play an indie game. Look up some indie games. Like we on the podcast, we always highlight indie games. Our past two game of the years have been like our number one game have been indie games. The past
Like
couple
now,
years.
like when you say game of the year, you're talking about like just as the show's game of the year or like
Yeah,
game of the
yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah. As the show's game of the year.
So like it's like on a like describe an episode of Should I Play That? Like is it like a review base? Is it just more so like news?
It's a little bit of everything. So the show has evolved over the years, and at like where it is right now, it is towards the beginning we sort of talk about what we've been playing over the past week, over the past however it's been. So after we talk about that, and we sort of go into detail. A lot of shows when they talk about what they've been playing, they'll say a game. They're like, I'm playing this game and it sucks, and not give a reason on why it sucks. So
Right.
we go into a little bit more detail, and like actually a good chunk of the show is us going into detail on what we're playing, so you can have like a good idea of what the game is about. So we do that. We then go into news, which we're the show is like it's industry based, so it's less like Kotaku articles and IGN articles, and more like Game Informer, more Digital Foundry, and more
Okay.
like technical aspect. Like if you really want to learn, like and sort of see what like developers are sort of going through, or the things that developers are talking about. That's what we'll talk about. We'll talk, of course, we'll still talk about like
Okay.
the big news, like if
Right.
a game gets announced, or if like for example the new Switch that got announced yesterday.
Yeah,
Um,
what is that? Is that like an expansion or something? Like an
it's
improvement? Like what like
it's essentially what like the you remember when there was a 3DS and then they released the new 3DS?
oh, is that supposed to be like 3DS Lite or something like that? Or
It's instead of being an upgrade, it's a side grade. It's a bigger screen. It has better ports on like the
uh,
dock, and it has more memory. So they're selling that for $50 more. If you already have a Switch, you don't really need it because
mm,
it's technically not a it's not like a PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 4 Pro. It's not that
right.
type of thing.
Oh, wow. So it's not even that big of
It
an upgrade.
exactly. It's more or less PlayStation 4, PlayStation Slim.
And it's an extra $50 above the regular Switch.
Extra $50 because you have a better looking screen, a slightly bigger screen, and internal storage. And Nintendo
Um,
knows that you're gonna pay the 50 extra bucks. They know it.
hey yo, that's it's funny. Like me and my boy Marvin saying, like we always say, like Nintendo, like although like they do release innovative games, but they know what the fuck works. You know what I'm saying? They'll release an innovative game or something like that. They'll just be like, oh shit, that didn't do well. Fuck, release another goddamn Zelda game. Shit, them niggas will buy it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, so yeah,
Or
so
re-release one. Like they're
right.
really heavy on re-releasing the games right now.
we added another color to it. Just fucking buy it. Like, you know. And also like help us understand actually. I've been seeing a lot of memes talking about Nintendo and like how they like I guess like be canceling tournaments. Like I guess like just anything with their name on it, they're like putting a slap on it. Like can you describe that for us?
Yeah, so Nintendo, they're really big on controlling their properties. So anything involving like their intellectual property, like they want full control over it. They and like just the Japanese themselves, they are like they're very prideful of their things. Like
Yeah.
if any like you're not gonna see Mario in a Mortal Kombat game, like that'll never happen.
No.
But you know, it's something where like they understand that like that's their shit, so they can
But
control their shit.
but it's funny though, like didn't they have mob ties? You know, they talking about we're family friendly. Oh, fuck yourselves, okay? Like, time acting like the Yakuza didn't help pay the bills back in the day.
Hey, I mean, they don't want to talk about that, but there's a new Mario Party coming out.
I know, right? Hey, I know, like, oh shit, they found out about the mob. Put out that new Mario Party, fam.
Hmm.
Good, they're distracted. But nah, I mean, I wanted to. I've been thinking about getting the Switch, but like I know like the only thing I'm gonna play on it is Smash Brothers and like maybe like whatever classics they release, you know. So I knew it'd probably just take up dust. But do you have a Switch?
Yeah, I have a Switch, had it since launch. So them announcing this new Switch, it literally did nothing for me.
Mm.
So like literally, if you have a Switch, if you and the improvements, like the dock has like an Ethernet port, which should have been there from jump. I already have like my own like third party accessory that's a Ethernet port. So I
Wow.
yeah, I really yeah, it's something where like I really don't need it. But for people that don't have a Switch or if they have the Switch Lite, uh, I mean it's worth it. You have the $350 and you want the big screen, better battery life.
So I
I
guess like so I guess like a good review of it would be like if you got it like that, go ahead. But you know,
exactly.
don't waste your money. You know what I'm saying? Like just know that you're blowing that extra $50.
Yeah,
You
is
know.
remember when Apple was putting out like they would put out like an iPhone and then they would put out like an iPhone number S like a year
Hmm.
later. It's literally that.
Ah man, what was the S? Just like the S version was to be like what, like a bigger screen and like maybe a
Extra,
bigger
extra
camera or
bigger, yeah,
something.
extra pixels.
Extra pixel. There we go.
It's slightly faster, but actually, even with this, it's not even slightly faster. It's just a bigger screen.
Extra pixels. So when she sees your dick pic, she knows it's real.
She knows it's real.
She'll wait at least 2 seconds before she blocks you. so so Chris, man, like I remember like and it's funny because like I actually had that inspiration like when I was younger myself, but I remember you used to have aspirations to be a pro wrestler. Like is that still like a thing
Oh
for you?
man,
Like
so the whole pro wrestling thing that like if you believe in like alternate universes, if you believe in you know, past lives or whatever it is, like yes, like that I could pinpoint like the point in time where I had the decision to either do this content creation stuff and all the stuff that I'm doing now or be a pro wrestler. And at the time I was like, hey, like I don't want to be 30 and have a broken back, or I don't want to deal with the racist shit that the WWE puts people through. Because by back then, I mean even now it's bad, but like it's gotten a lot better.
yeah.
But back then it was, you know, it was pretty bad to be on like the WWE roster and be to be black. Well, you know, at most you're like a tag team champ. At most you're a U.S. champion or intercontinental champion. But I don't know.
So that's interesting. So I guess because you know, like, because people will hear you say that and be like, The Rock exists. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, even though like he don't wrestle no more, but you know, they'll bring up The Rock, they'll bring up Booker T. They were champions, like, but so I guess that's what because I used to wonder, I'm like, wow, like Kofi Kingston winning this title is like
that
a
was
really
dope.
big
That was
fucking
huge.
deal to y'all. So I guess. well, obviously the WWE is right. I mean, come on, McMahon, but still, so it was like really that bad for black wrestlers, huh? Even after The Rock and Booker T,
Yeah,
like you know what
so
I mean?
you also have to remember, the Rock, Booker T, like they weren't like the rule. Those were the exceptions. Like
Right,
those men were extremely talented. They
like you
were
couldn't deny him.
you could not deny them. So like I feel like they paved the road for other African American wrestlers to do what they can. But at the time, it was something that like I was going to indie shows. I was doing like indie wrestling training and everything like that. Like I was doing all of that. I was doing the podcast stuff. I was working. I was in school. I was doing all that at once. So I sort of had to like pick and choose what I
Yeah,
wanted to do. And yeah, wrestling was the one to drop. But this is the kicker. I told myself that um, being a content creator, doing all this stuff, I could eventually become so popular that I could be a guest wrestler
hey, there
at
you
a pay
go.
per view. So at some point that could still happen. And hey, look at the two timelines coming together.
Exactly, like coming back. See, it all comes back. But so, like, what was your character gonna be? Like,
Growing up, I, gaming has been like huge in my life. Gaming has always like done something for me. I don't know if it was like my ADHD and then like the ability to do something while still doing something with my hands. Like I don't know what it was, but like I love gaming. So my character essentially was gonna be one of like a self-aware like character that was like he was a video game character. So like I would have like Shoryuken. I would be
huh?
doing like finishing moves based on like different video game characters and like my thought process was I at some point I'll be in the WWE and once they made my character a video game character, he'd be like super self-aware and they could do whatever they want. Like I would actually
Mm.
be shooting fire I would want to be shooting fireballs in the game.
Speaking of the games, I remember like I think like the last WWE game I owned, I had to say it was like '07. But I remember I was doing like the little story modes, and I was playing the Undertaker's path, bruh. It was like it was some Italian dude that you was feuding with on there. But Undertaker put a spell on him, and you was at his match, and like I still remember that shit said press L1 to do magic. And I was like, oh hell no, nah. Did the WWE get this fucking stupid? Like, I mean, like I don't know. It's like I mean, I'm probably just saying it just because I'm an adult, but like I dick ride attitude era just because I was a kid back then. I understand that. But that would have been interesting though, like a video like especially like would you have took it like further and like maybe like had like a manager with like a video game controller or some shit and like
Stuff like
like
that.
if
Yeah,
you
like I
lost
would
like just show them like fuck man like
mm-hmm.
like
Like I was like that was the whole gimmick. The whole gimmick was me being a video game character.
dang that would have been interesting just like like your intro music would have been all 8-bit like
Mm-hmm.
Vince McMahon would have been like, I don't give a fuck if you're crapping your pants. You better get your ass out there and wrestle, nigger. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you'll be getting paid, but you'll be depressed.
Yeah, so that's that's something that sort of I had to pick and choose. So I chose this path.
But what's that like though? Like the training for pro wrestler. Like I know, like, cause I seen like the Tough Enough. I know you had to do the rope drills
Hmm.
and all that.
Rope drills. You have to do learning how to take like just learning how to take hits. It's
It's called
mostly
selling it, right? Or
sell.
taking the
Yeah,
bump.
like yeah, taking bumps, selling. Like it's honestly it's there's a lot of like safety that goes into it. So like learning how
Huh.
to do things safely, that was like the biggest thing because not only are you're in the ring, but you're also in the ring with another human being. So
Right.
as much as they play it out to be, you versus someone else, it's really you and someone else putting on a show. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of like, communication and like it's tough. Like you have to be able to take hits.
Yeah, see, I remember like I was one of those like idiot childs who believed that wrestling was actually real. But
It's still real to me. It's still real to me.
yeah,
Damn
it's real to me, damn it.
it.
Yeah, like, but I remember I read Stone Cold's autobiography, The Stone Cold Truth, and that's when I had to hang it up and be like, okay, this shit really is not real. But the
Yeah.
thing was, it became more interesting. Because like I was reading his book and like just seeing like, okay, like when they tie up, they're actually talking, they're planning out what to do next, like,
Hmm.
and then like just all the stuff that goes into putting on the show, like,
That's
so
why. That's why you see all of these wrestlers going into movies now.
yeah,
John
because I mean,
Cena, The
because they're
Rock.
already good at acting, like,
That's it. That's all they're doing is acting in the ring. Like I joke around. Like a lot of people in my family, like my close relatives, like they fuck with soap operas like heavy, like General Hospital, One Life to Live, all that. So growing up, I've always made the joke that my soap opera was pro wrestling because it's it's
oh
it's
man,
literally the storytelling.
when I
It's
was a
it's
kid, I used to hate that. I'm like, no, it is not soap operas. It is two guys killing each other in the ring, and it's like. But one of my friends shared this compilation, I guess, where I guess like the wrestling promos used to be mad homoerotic, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck was I listening to?" Like, but man, oh, who was your favorite wrestler growing up? Like,
Oh man, so growing up, of course, like The Rock, like and still to this day, like Dwayne Johnson, like he just inspirational because of like his story of just like I think going like from the Canadian Football League, having like $7 in his pocket to saying, all right, I'm gonna do this wrestling thing that my dad was doing, and how like when he first started, people hated him, the crowd hated him, and just him evolving, becoming better, and then like just becoming the character
the
that
most
he became,
electrifying man.
most electrifying man in sports entertainment. And it's him. People hate this. People hate to say this man's name, but Chris Benoit was a beast. Like he was like one of the most technical wrestlers,
Oh
and
yeah, him and
it's
Dean Malenko.
yeah, it's like Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, a lot of those guys. Like it to me, it was like equivalent of like how people say like the Boston Celtics, like they're like a technical team, and like it's
Right.
sort of it's boring watching them play, but it's also like if you know the game, it's very
I usually hear
entertaining to
that about
watch
the
it.
Spurs.
The
That's
Spurs too, yeah.
yeah.
So if wrestlers like that, those are wrestlers I like, and then of course like Batista. Batista was a beast. Batista was actually when because I stopped watching wrestling as a kid and sort of got back into it um towards like like the last like my junior and senior year of high school.
Oh man,
Like Batista, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Triple H when they were doing Evolution, like all of that, like that got me back into
evolution is a
wrestling.
mystery.
Yes, it was man. The
Man,
storytelling was just amazing.
I remember when Batista was Deacon Batista, like,
All right, and
but
then
it's crazy,
and
like,
it sort of just shows that like people can go into something, and once they really start getting their rhythm, once they start finding
hmm
themselves, at this point they're just putting in the reps. They see that, all right, hey, why don't I try this one thing? Why don't I try this, this other character, and it works, and they just stick with it, and then they just blow up from there. So that's the same theme with like content creation, guys. Like
hmm
keep doing what you want, keep doing what you got to do, um, and try and be creative. Because I sort of want to like divert back to content creation because
yeah.
there's there's a trend that's happening right now
And what is it?
that I absolutely hate, that I
Uh,
found myself doing at one point, and I was
oh,
like, whoa, what am I doing? This
what's
isn't
the
this isn't
trend?
right. The trend is, all right, let's say you're like the main video, and I'm the other person. That shit, I hate that. I hate the
Oh, like
side by
pointing
side,
out.
the person that's like just like you're is a reaction video, but like all they're doing is just like you just see the face cam of the person watching the video. That is,
Oh, so
it's
they're not even saying anything. They're
they're not even
just
saying anything. It's just you and the person watching the video, and to me, like it's content creation has got, it just shows that content creation has gotten so easy that people are doing this and they're getting tons of views. There, I don't get it.
Oh yeah,
It's
I'd be listening to some streamers, man. I'd be like, wow, like this shit. Like if you get deep enough in it, it does get corporate. Like, but yeah, that's interesting. I mean, like you said, that's usually a TikTok though. Like when they just doing that or whatever.
it's
Just
TikTok, but it's also Instagram now. Instagram, technically, like the one of the CEOs of Instagram has like he did a live recently, and they like even like Instagram at this point, they know they're not a photo app anymore. They know it's a content creation app. So um, they know that their biggest rival is TikTok. So over the next couple months, couple weeks, whatever, you'll start seeing Instagram doing more things like TikTok.
hmm.
So
Well, hey, I guess me and my brothers were smart to hop on this IG thing, yeah.
yeah. Hey, you guys are pioneers. You guys are paving the path right now.
Hey, well, shoot, man. So who are some streamers that you watch? Like, who do you?
So see what streamers, TBH, the Black Okage, or if you used to watch him, Modern War Negro,
Modern War Negro.
you remember him?
That name does ring a bell.
Yeah, he goes by the Black Okage now.
The
So
Black Hokage. Okay.
yeah, so like I'll watch his streams. I'm actually I like it's more or less like I'm all over the place. Like that's one of the ones that like if I see that he's streaming, I'll hop in the stream and like he's just he he's entertaining, like he's playing the game, but then at the same time he's extremely interactive with his chat. So
Yeah,
that's hard. That's
I
hard
don't.
to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't be seeing how people be doing that. Like they're playing like a game, like especially something that you got to like actually concentrate on, but they can
Hmm.
still like talk to the chat and like you know what I'm saying, respond to them. I'd be like, man, I'd be silent for like 5 minutes straight, just trying to like beat this one level. So like, do you do a lot of let's plays like on your streams or like?
I it's been a while since I have. But with me like so like right like I guess over the last couple of months, should I play that has been a live podcast on Twitch, but it's been on my page SSJ Blackrot. The whole branding thing is sort of like confusing when trying to put people onto the show. They're like, "Oh, should I play that? Is that like the page on Twitch?" And it's like, "No, it's SSJ Blackrot." And unless if you don't know what if you don't get the reference, or a lot of people just don't get it, it's hard to explain it to people. I'm now taking the podcast over to its own Twitch page, so
Okay,
you can actually now go to twitch.tv/. Should I play that? And follow us there. It's a new page, and that's where all the podcast content is going to be. And I'm
oh,
going back to I'm not. It's going to be maybe like bi-weekly, or when I could get to it. But for the most part, like I've always enjoyed doing like game nights. Doing like Jackbox, doing like community games, stuff like that. Because when it comes down to single player games, I don't need people in the chat telling me how to play the game. It's just I don't need that.
yeah, I remember I wanted to get on Twitch and like play some platformer, but yeah, I hate for somebody to be like, "Oh my fucking god, jump over the guy!" Hey, I don't need that from you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can see that, but I'll play a fighting game online, but I might just get banned because I get mad misogynistic when I lose. Like I don't know why. Like and like I main like female characters, so so like man, Chris, so what game you playing at the moment? Like,
So I'm actually about to do a man, I'm doing too much now. I'm gonna start doing YouTube video what do you call it? What do you call them? Video essays. I'm gonna
oh,
start
video
doing
essays. Oh,
yes, I'm gonna
okay.
start doing video essays, and my first video essay is gonna be on Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and like how much I hate those games. Not saying that they're bad games, but how as me, a person with I'm not gonna say I have zero patience because actually I have a lot of patience. But when it comes to that particular game and how surgical you have to be in those games,
I heard those games were like mad hard though. Like,
yeah,
just for
it's
no reason, just
for
just
no
hard as
reason
fuck.
a single mistake can wipe out like the last 40 minutes of what you've been doing.
Oh, so like, So like, do they allow save points or anything like that? Or
Some of them do, but like with the Demon Souls and well, I guess the Souls games in general, the thing with those games is that you're essentially like when you defeat enemies, your experience points, like you save them, and you would have to get to like a certain save point to then use them to upgrade your character. But if you die with your experience, you lose all that experience.
oh no,
And then like the character, like the monster
nah,
that
son.
killed you will still be in the world, so you could essentially go back to that point, kill the monster, get your XP
Oh,
back.
okay.
But if you die on the way back to that monster, you lose everything.
Oh yeah. See, yeah, I would lose like years of my life. Just I'd be so upset.
Hmm.
So like, what was like the most upset you ever gotten at a game? Just like to the like obviously you told us about you deleting one,
Yeah,
but
that,
like
that that's
that was the
that's
most.
the thing right there. Yeah. Like jumping in the game, and like I know I'm done with the game if I back out of it and I uninstall it, because that's happened numerous times
Oh,
where
so that was
yeah,
so Mortal Kombat wasn't the only one.
that was only like fighting game I've done that with. But like
Okay, what
if
was some
I'm
other games you just uninstalled?
um so shout out to Xbox and what they're doing with the Game Pass. Game Pass is the best value in gaming. I say this on the show every time. I am not sponsored by Microsoft whatsoever, but when I say they're the best value in gaming, I mean it. With Game Pass, it's essentially Netflix for games. You're paying a fee every month, and you can just download games. So with that, like I'm able to just like see a game, play it, and if I really don't like it,
Bye bye.
not just delete it. So the last one I did that with was Outriders. Outriders is another loot shooter, another it's another like live service type game that same bullshit. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with the grind, so I deleted it. I finished the game and deleted it.
Oh, okay. See, at least you finished the game though.
Yeah, but at the same time, I hated myself for finishing it.
Why? Why? I mean, you got it done. Congratulations, you got the
C-
trophy. Like,
Congratulations, I guess.
congratulations. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to the Evangelion fans out there. Uh, but dang, Chris, I wanted to say thanks for hopping on. I really
Oh man,
appreciate you,
thank
and
thanks.
I hope to be able to appear on one of your shows. I mean, I got to get my Twitch right, but uh, I'd love to see you play some games. I'll be that backseat gamer, for you.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in the works. Like I said, should I play that? We'll be back pretty soon, working on some stuff. Muck Luck Productions. I have Who's Next. So I'm currently looking for more artists to promote and do interviews with. So um, doing that, working with other people on their projects too. So just follow me, SSJ Black Rock. Follow Should I Play That? Follow Muck Luck Productions. Um, there's a lot of content on the way.
All right, you heard it here, folks. I used to like overthink your handle. I used to be like SSJ Black Carrot. I don't under, but then you said, "Nah." I keep hearing you saying Blackarot, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
That's that, that's why I wore the Goku shirt, so that
uh, see,
people could piece it together. They're like, Black Rock. Why does that just sounds so familiar? Wait a minute, is that Goku on his shirt? Wait, isn't Goku's name Kakarot? Oh,
oh,
oh.
hey, well, all right, and and that's a perfect spot to end, man. Thanks again for coming. All right, everybody, peace out. Peace out.